Afternoon, it's Nicholas from Gandora Gaming, and we got a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh format revealed. This is Yu-Gi-Oh Genesis. It was revealed this morning, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this looks pretty interesting. So if you don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh Genesis is a new way for TCG players to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh. So basically, it's a new format for Yu-Gi-Oh players in the TCG, and there's a new rule set. So we're gonna go over the rule set real quick, and then I'm gonna talk about my feelings on it. So first things first. Genesis is used the same rules as standard duels, with a few changes to deck construction. There is no link or pendulum monsters allowed, so the old field is what is used. So you can only play with 5 zones. There is no extra monster zone in this format. The second rule is that all other cards are allowed. There is no forbidden or unlimited list. The third rule is that deck construction is based on a point system. Some powerful cards have points costs when building your deck. Most cards cost no points. Each duelist will have the same number of points to build their deck. This brings the power ceiling of decks down for everyone to focus duels and battle to action. Tournament organizers can change the point cap for each event. Standard is 100, but you can do 200-point events where people can have more powerful cards, or lower it to 50 for fewer powerful cards, or even 0 with no powerful cards. It's whatever you want. Here's more details about Genesis right here. My question is it only the cards listed on this list of points? If a card isn't listed here, are you able to play it? That is my question, because this list is comprehensive. It's very big. There's 505 entries. However, the Yu-Gi-Oh game has 1,000 cards in the game. Does it include? It doesn't. It's missing a lot. So, are these the only cards you're allowed to play, or are you allowed to play with every card? It's just if the card's not mentioned here, then it has 0 points, because it looks like these are all point cards. So I guess that's what that means. It means if your card is not mentioned here and it's not a pendulum or link, then you can play it at 3 copies with 0 points, which is fine, which leaves a lot to be interpreted. So I have already skimmed through this list, and I will say there is some big hits to some of your favorite decks. For example, Detonator is like 20 points, which is not big. Actually, no, it's Detonator 20 points. Let me see. Detonator is, 20 points, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you only have 100 points, that is a lot for a single copy. Because I think based on how the rules work, is that this list that is shown right now is basically how much each copy of a card costs. And these are the best cards in the game based on just gaming results and tournament results. Thus, if you're really good at a format, you are put on this list. However, there's a lot of notable archetypes left off. So I don't know if that means you can play them or not, or what's the deal. For example, punks are not on this list whatsoever. And you know I'm a punk player. That's my deck. So now I'm wondering, if punks aren't on this list, are they legal to play? Or does that mean Konami deems them not worthy to have a point? Thus, you can play all of them at 3 and it doesn't change a thing. Because I'm looking at the P section, there's not a single punk on here. So does that mean you can play punk at full power and be fine? Another archetype I was thinking about is like Sun Avalon. I don't think any of the Sun Avalon, are they? I should actually double check that. Is Sun Avalon even on here? Like plants? I don't see any plant hits on here either. So like, can you just play full Sun Avalon plant? Or like, I know that doesn't sound like a really strong strategy, but there's a lot of really powerful archetypes that I can see someone breaking because they're at full power, while some of the other like more notable archetypes are hit. For example, like the Zodiacs are like ripped apart here, like Broad Bull 66, Strident's 20, Rapier's 50. Obviously, that kind of neuters your ability to play Zodiac. However, looking at this list, I can see cards like they don't even mention some really powerful archetypes on here. So I don't know. There's a chance that your favorite archetype might just like float through and just be at full power in this format, which is kind of crazy. Now, they did hit the hand traps to some extent. Ash, I believe, is like 15. Drolls are 7, which is interesting. I wonder how much Nibiru is. Nibiru is probably like 20 or something. Ends. I'm looking right now, and is Nibiru even on here? It has to be. Yeah, Nibiru, the primal being is 10, which is not a big deal. So hand traps do have points. You can only play so many of them, but to be honest, a lot of archetypes were kind of left out. And I can definitely see you making the argument. You can just play your full power deck. And the only difference is that there is no, like, 6 zone anymore, which is kind of crazy. Like, for example, I know this isn't a fan favorite archetype, but it's one of my favorites. Gold Pride, Liberal Mancers. None of them are on this list. Does that mean you can just play all the cards, be free, no points, and then you can just stuff it with hand traps? Because that's legal, I guess? Like, for example, like if you were playing Ryzeal, Ice Ryzeal is 20 points. To play a playset, that's 60 points for Ice Ryzeal. Like, let's say you want to play Infernoid. I know Infernoid ain't one of the best decks, but they have all their cards at 3. There is no ban list. How about Monster Gate? Right? Like, Monster Gate's a really powerful card. Is that card hit on this list? Let me look. I'm going to go on the M's real quick. M's, K, L. Lose one turns 100. It makes sense. How about Monster? Max C is a 50, so you can play 2 Max C theoretically. Metamorphosis is 10. So you can play 3 Metamorphosis if you want to. Mind Drain's 100. I just want to see. Alright, Monster Gate is 50. So you can technically, if you're an Inferno play, you can only play 2. However, how about Reasoning? Is Reasoning even on this list? Like, see, there's a lot of cards that Konami has hit over the years, or has put to 1 for a good reason. And I'm wondering if they did that to this list. So I'm looking. So this is ours. There's a lot of rank up magics on here. A lot of 1 rank up magics. Red Reboot's 50, so you can technically play 2 Red Reboot in your deck if you really were afraid of trap decks. Ritual Beast Elders 10. Return to Dimensions is 50. Yeah, like, see, like, for example, Reasoning is not on this list, and that's, oh, no, Reasoning is 50. Never mind. Okay. I don't know. This list definitely seems pretty interesting. They definitely hit some really powerful cards, for sure, like Terraforming's 33, but I feel like they left a lot of archetypes alone. Like Melodious. Is Melodious even on this list? Probably not. You could probably just play, Melodious is Pendulum. I guess you can't. Well, are they? Like, I guess the new ones are Pendulum, so that doesn't work. You don't have to worry about Melodious. What's an archetype they left out? Sword Soul's on here. Punk is not on here. What other archetypes? What are some of the best archetypes? How about Atlantean? Or how about how about this? How about Dark Worlds? Is Dark World at full power here? I guess Dark World Archives. That's the only Dark World to hit on here. Literally just Archives is 5 points. That's a 1 of anyway. Yeah, I guess so. Dark Worlds are basically at full power in this format, which they are in the TCG. I guess all the dangers are like 7, 5, 3, but that's not really that big of a deal. Is DDD's even on here? Like, besides, I say DDD High King Caesar's 20, but is full power. How about all the, I guess DDDs are pendulums. So you can't play them anyway. I guess that works. I guess you don't have to worry about DDDs. They're pendulums. At least most of them are. How about Drytron? How much is Drytron here? That's a good question. Drytron is Drytron is on here. Move Meter Alpha is 33, and Move Beta Fafnir is 33. Interesting. So this is going to be a really interesting format. We'll just have to see. It looks like Emergency Teleport's 40, so I can only play 2, like I said. But Punk is basically full power. Interesting. So are some of the really powerful hand traps, but who's to say you can't play those too? Very interesting. We'll just have to see who breaks it. Maybe me. We'll just have to find out. Anyway, see you on the next one. Bye-bye.